Well, I didn't really plan to start a podcast. It just felt right for where I am in life. And I think I've reached a point where I needed a small space away from work, away from social media pressure to simply just talk. Not to perform, not to be aesthetic, just talk. And I realized I'm not good at talking in my vlogs, especially when the camera is right in front of me and I'm doing things. But when I'm alone or walking or in my own room, I have so many thoughts that never make it to my videos. So this podcast is just the way I see things, my version of slowing down and figuring life out. Well, welcome to The Way I See It. I'm Alicia, and this is my quiet corner of the world for me to unwind, breathe, and share the thoughts that we're all quietly figuring out. Because I'm in this phase where a lot of things is happening quietly behind the scene. My job, my routine, the things I'm trying to build in my future. And I think I'm learning how to grow without making noise. And honestly, it feels great to have a place to put those thoughts in. A place that isn't too curated or too perfect. And I don't want this to be a serious self-help thing. It's just a simple conversation about what it feels like to be in the 20s, trying to figure life out, trying to be productive, trying to try again when I messed up. Some episode will be short. Some might be a little of my thoughts or reflection. Some might be about growth, travel, work, comfort, routine, or the quiet part of my life. Nothing loud, nothing dramatic. It's just the way I see it. And I feel like a lot of us is in this stage where we're constantly trying as well, but we're also constantly tired, not physically tired, but that mental heaviness of trying to be better, trying to stay productive, trying to keep up with people around us, and still trying to stay true to ourselves. And I think it's normal to feel like you're in between spaces, not fully where you used to be, but not fully where you want to be either. Just in the middle of it all. And this podcast is kind of my middle place. And I'm also realizing that some seasons of my life are quiet for a reason. Not every chapter is meant to be loud or exciting or full of achievements. Some seasons are just slow because you need to breathe. You need a space to think. You need time to understand who you are right now, maybe. And honestly, that's where I am. A quiet season, and maybe you're in the same place as I am. And I think at our age, there's this pressure to look like we have everything sorted out. The perfect routine, the perfect job, the perfect lifestyle. And I know I show a little of those things online, my vlogs, my routine, my moments, my Instagram, but behind all of that, I'm still figuring things out too. And I think everyone is, even the people who look the most put together. And one thing I want to do here is to be honest about not knowing everything. Like, I don't have the full map of my life, and I don't always know what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm confident. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, okay, what now? And that's just the reality of being in your 20s. So if you ever feel lost, you're not behind. You're just human. And I've been learning that growth doesn't always come from big changes. Sometimes it's small things like drinking water, making your bed in the morning, going out for a morning walk, sitting outside for a few minutes, reading a few pages of your favorite book, cleaning the tiny corner of your room. Those are the small reset that add up. And sometimes they help more than all those big things. And I think most of us are just trying to become someone we can be proud of, not for the internet, not for our parents, not for our friends, but just ourselves. For me, doing this podcast is part of that, and part of becoming more comfortable with my own voice, my thoughts, my feelings, my pace maybe, and the comfort of hearing someone else say same. One thing I like about podcasts is that sometimes hearing someone else talk about what you're going through can make you feel less alone. Like, okay, I'm not the only one feeling this. And if even one person listening to this feels that way, then I think my podcast already did its job. So, you've been listening to The Way I See It.